Hello and good day to everyone who is listening, which I assume is actually no one. And that is not important because I'm doing this just for me. And if any of you is actually listening, thank you so much. But based on my statistics so far, I don't think anybody is listening to this. Anyway, today I'm gonna talk about why I really don't like the first week of any new season or of anime. And as some of you may know, that the Autumn 2007 anime is already starting, and I've already watched a few first episodes. There's some good one, there's some bad one, and yeah, I mean like a few of the first episodes are already out, but I like some of them, and some of them I don't really like. And what I'm gonna say that why I don't really like episode ones and first weeks is because how episode ones of any animes are usually made. Basically, if you have watched lots of anime, you can see that the trend of episode one being having the most budget, episode one and the final episodes having the most budget in the entire series, which makes sense because you want to attract the viewers, you want to lure the viewers. But at the same time, I really hate this trend because usually episode ones you have the episodes are written and the individual scenes and how the story flows are written differently than other episode because you have much more budget to make the episode. Usually it has a better cinematography, better art, better consistency in the art style, especially in art style where they have the characters have lots of details, the character designs I mean. And what I don't like is episode 1 is rarely a good impression of any anime because of how overly budgeted it is compared to the rest of the episodes. It is almost always much better in terms of quality than the rest of the seasons. I mean, I understand the marketing strategy and the business aspect of it, but that's why I really don't like it because uh, episode one you should never drop. I mean, you should never judge an anime by episode one. If you sh I don't think anybody should do a first episode impression because first episode is always much better. That's why I use the 3 or 4 episodes rule. Uh, that I usually would watch until episode 3 or episode 4 to properly judge if an anime was watching or not. Unless if the episode 1 is so terribly bad. If you cannot make a good episode 1, it will, that's a lot of wrong. If you cannot even make an exciting episode 1. Just like uh a few days ago I watched this I think Sengoku Nightblood or something. It's another isekai. The reverse harem samurai genre where a female character went back in time into the Sengoku period. It's actually there's a lot of it in the otome genre, especially the Shinsengumi. No, I mean I don't think it's Shinsengumi is so much Shinsengumi, but the reverse harem genre involving samurai and ninjas are not that common. But to turn it into an anime is actually quite rare. And but the episode 1 is so terrible. I cannot imagine trying to watch another 2 episodes of it. I don't. I'll try watching episode 2, but the episode 1 is so bad, and I really don't like Reverse Harem. I mean, Reverse Harem genre is. I don't. I think it's a trashy genre in the first place. It's even worse than typical harem genre in terms of how much I can enjoy it. But I'm a little went out of track. But in most cases, episodes 1 are usually the best in terms of quality, but it does not represent the overall quality of the anime of the whole season. So whenever usually sometimes in my Discord I will discuss the first episode, and then we will have this impression with one of my friend. And usually we have this oh, this looks good and stuff. But I will always, usually I will always reply, this is episode one. We'll see later episodes, and it's a very common trend that in many episodes I watch where episode one it has a good music, good timing, good dialogues and flows, and good overall very good and good. It's a good episode, good individual episode. But later on, the animation become lazier. The dialogues and the Sukomi become less snappier, and just sometimes some studios are more intelligent in how they gradually decreases the overall quality that you acclimatize with the gradual reduction of quality slowly. You didn't really notice it, but some studios are reduce the quality just really bad. Like there's an anime called Twin Tail. I wanna become a Twin Tail. The English title of it. I really love the first few episodes. I think it has good jokes, great art, and I think that was my impression of it. I really enjoyed the first few episodes, but later in the middle, it became it became the quality became so bad. The music sometimes became so non-existent, and art quality just has a massive reduction in quality. Yeah, and there's many other. This trend is very common, and especially to me that I watch most anime each season. I can see that all most anime do this. There's not many anime that can maintain a good quality for that reflects the first episode's quality. It reminds me of an anime earlier this year, Shumatsu no Izeta. The first episode is really great. It's a movie material. I think it fits a anime movie style. It has great flow, great actions, and art quality is great. I'm not really good with adjective, or rather, I cannot think of adjective on the fly. But then later on, Shumatsu no Izeta, I just became bored of it. I don't think the characters from being interesting, they become just very boring. The plot is so-so, but I didn't think it was delivered well. Yeah, yeah. Even it's not just action. It's very common for first episode to have high octane action with detail art with lots of frames and lots of movement. But later on, the actions become stale. That's very common because you want to do your be- do you want to showcase the best action early to grab on your viewers. But even in but even in slice of life comedy, you can see the reduction in quality. Usually, earlier episodes will have this good will have good consistency, but the art quality will become less and less refined later on. And sometimes it affects the jokes and the comedy because sometimes if you want to deliver a good comedy, you have to have the flow. How some jokes relies on snappy characters, sarcastic remarks, and such that. Um, it requires usually more animation, more character movement, and in a shorter period of time. So basically, there are more things to animate to deliver a punchline, but because of reduction of budget, and usually result in less energetic, less enthusiastic delivery, and that results in less fun comedy. So this reduction of quality does not only affect action stuff. It's or It does not just only affect action stuff, but also affect even normal comedy. But a clever studio can work around it to deliver. How should I say this? To compensate the lack of budget. and we are already around 10 minutes mark. I think I'm gonna stop for now. I've been I've been really busy lately because at my workplace some of my coworkers went and take a break and I have to work for two people. It was very tiring and I'm trying to do this whole recording thing more often because I think it will benefit me if I try to talk more and train my speech and yeah, I really should try to force myself to do this. Anyway, the conclusion of this video is if you watch the first episodes, I suggest that you contain your enthusiasm and watch two or three more episodes before you decide if an anime is or rather if you are talking to another person, don't use episode one as your rebuttal because episode one has always good animation, better animation than overall of its other episodes. Anyway, good night and feel free to check on my Discord. We can talk stuff there if you are interested. And I also draw stuff in my DeviantArt. Usually I just draw life stuff and some other stuff. I'm not really a good artist, but okay, I'm rambling. Okay, thank you for listening. If you guys are still listening, and good night.